Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the National Anthem of Australia. Thank you. Please be seated. I now present to you the Deputy Chancellor of Monash University, the Honourable Peter Young, who will open this graduation ceremony.
Graduates and guests, our guest speaker, Ms Deborah Glass, Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Vice President Enterprise, Professor Ken Sloan, Dean of the Faculty of Law, Professor Brian Horrigan, President of the Academic Board, Professor Chris Davies, distinguished guests, members of Council, members of faculty. It is my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the Council of Monash University to this, the 1151st graduation ceremony of this university, being performed on country for which the Kulin nations have been the traditional owners and custodians for many centuries. The university acknowledges their cultures and we pay respect to their elders, past, present and emerging. I now call upon the Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Vice President Enterprise, Professor Ken Sloan, to address this assembly.
Deputy Chancellor, members of the Monash University Council, our guest speaker, Ms Deborah Glass, distinguished guests, colleagues, and most importantly, graduates, their families and supporters. Some years ago, how many does not matter, you arrived at Monash University for the first time. You may have arrived on that first day clear of mind about what you wanted, or you may have come with fewer expectations, open as to whether you were at the right place or whether this was the right degree. Some of you have been single-minded in pursuit of a particular career since that first day. Perhaps you'd already begun it. Some of you have discovered a different career suits you more than the one you thought awaited you. And others of you, probably most of you, are still exploring the great many opportunities that now lie open to you, excited, maybe even daunted. There are those of you who have blazed through your studies without interruption in the shortest time possible, while for others among you, the journey has been winding, perhaps more interesting for being so, taking you to places you never expected. No matter your journey to make it here today, no matter where it takes you next, for all of you, this journey defines you in important ways, and it will continue to define you. Talent is essential to enter Monash, but talent alone is not sufficient to get you here today to this ceremony. It requires discipline, persistence, and sustained endeavour. We hope we have nurtured in you the love of discovery, expressed in the university's motto, Ancora Imparo, those Italian words attributed variously to Dante and Michelangelo translate as, "I am still learning." We also hope to have fostered an openness of mind, accepting your opinions and preconceptions being challenged, and an openness to the world, embracing the diversity of ideas and experience of your fellow students and staff, or the experiences of campuses and other countries in other nations that Monash has brought to your education. Monash University awards degrees to recognise those qualities, and you have earned them. And that recognition should not be viewed lightly. The university's reputation places it amongst the best universities in the world, firmly among the top 100. We have built that reputation in fewer than 6 decades. Only a handful of other universities worldwide can match that success. Fewer still can match the trajectory and ambition that we have set for ourselves. The RISE project, transforming urban slums in Indonesia and Fiji to provide the most vulnerable with access to clean water and sanitation, and ultimately aspiring to improve the lives of more than 1 billion who live in such settlements globally, is such a goal. The World Mosquito Programme, using bacteria to reduce mosquito-borne diseases such as dengue and Zika across Asia, Latin America, and the Pacific, and now on track to protect more than 100 million people worldwide by 2022. The inhaled oxytocin process, giving hope to tens of thousands of vulnerable women who die each year from postpartum hemorrhaging by providing them with access to a drug otherwise not available without refrigeration. The Caston Centre for Human Rights Law, leveraging the expertise of some of Australia's most distinguished legal names to help shape a world where human rights are respected and protected, allowing people to pursue their lives in freedom and with dignity. Or the work of the Gender, Peace and Security Institute, leading pioneering research to demonstrate how improving women's participation in disadvantaged communities in the public can help to prevent violent extremism. These projects, and numerous others like them, across every faculty and every discipline of this university, rely on excellent researchers and supporting organisations and students. They ensure that excellence is turned into positive impact. The advantage your Monash degree gives you builds from that excellence, but also from that impact. So what does Monash expect from you? Another point of distinction of this university, less remarked upon, is that it is named after a person and not a place. The man after whom this institution was named, Sir John Monash, served many roles. He was an engineer, a proponent of the arts, a lawyer, a military leader, hailed amongst the finest generals of a terrible war, the First World War. He was also a public servant, an innovator, an entrepreneur and businessman, a community leader. His funeral, 3 decades before this university opened, drew 300,000 mourners onto the streets of Melbourne, where scarcely 1 million people lived at the time. They did not turn out for only his military accomplishments or his career, though they admired both. They turned out to celebrate his contributions to and sacrifices for the lives of those around him, for confronting head-on the challenges that faced the community in which he lived, and using his expertise and persistence and courage to change them. Now, coming decades will have their own challenges. Some of them we see now, some we can barely conceive. He made opportunities as well, not only for himself, but also for others. And we believe your Monash degree marks you as singly capable of doing both. To question why things are the way they are, to have the courage to change the way things are, and to persist, sometimes in the face of severe disappointment, sometimes because achievements for the good often take time and rely on the support of others. I hope you leave Monash University confident that you are ready to seize the opportunities that the challenges of the world will create, and I hope that you will take with you the rich experiences, enduring friendships, and lasting memories to sustain you whilst you do so. May I offer my personal and sincere congratulations. Thank you. I now call upon Professor Brian Horrigan, Dean of the Faculty of Law.
Deputy Chancellor, I certify to you and to the Council of Monash University that all candidates now to be presented and those others listed in your copy of the graduation program have fulfilled the conditions prescribed by the Council of Monash University for admission to the degrees and for the award of the diplomas indicated in the program. Would all candidates for degrees and diplomas of the Faculty of Arts and the Faculty of Law please stand?
Graduates, with the authority of Council, I admit you to the degrees and award the diplomas to which you are entitled. I also admit to the degrees and award the diplomas to which they are entitled those others who are absent today but are listed in my signed copy of the graduation program. So graduates, as you now are, this moment does mark an important milestone in your lives. This ceremony is the visible culmination of your hard work and your commitment to studies, to your career at Monash, and to the efforts that you contributed. Your achievements are outstanding. You really should look back at this moment with great pride. I personally congratulate you. Monash Council and the whole of the university congratulate you. And may I ask now the members, your family, friends, extended family who are present here to also join in a level of applause to likewise congratulate each of you.
Please be seated. Deputy Chancellor, graduates from the Faculty of Arts and the Faculty of Law will be presented to you by Dr. Fiona Price, University Reader.
Deputy Chancellor, I present to you graduates from the Faculty of Arts and the Faculty of Law who have been admitted to the following degrees and awarded the following diplomas today. Bachelor of Arts, Communication, Melanie Jane Gibson. Bachelor of Journalism, Madeline Elizabeth Rose Papas. Bachelor of Professional Communication, Alexandra Michelle Ganter. Master of Communications and Media Studies, Claire Miriam Atias. Kokila Awasti. Xiao Bao. Tho Mauvais Reverie Berghout. Elaine Marie Bolander. Jie Han Chen. Xiao Yi Chen.亚南陈。子卫陈。Samantha Chu Xuan Lin. Jing Tong Cui. Yun Lin Deng. Hao Meng Dong. Duan Simin. Yi Anfang. Stephanie Alana Ford. Fu Wenxin. Zi Ge. Rachel Lian Guo Li Xian. Yu Yang Gong. Ananya Gosain. Si Jia Gu. Yi Wen Guo. Na Han. Yi Kun Hao. He Yi Zhen. Hou Yi. Yue Hu. Zhe Zhang Jia. Meng Han Jiang. Ye Jiang. Yu Mo Jiang. Yan Zijin. Gloria Ko Shihui. Yash Krishna Kumar Warrior. Alexandra Lenehan. Hui Ting Li. Ke Li. Xiang Li. 延期礼、自甲料、风乙流、嘉阳流、金选流、母禅流、一炉、开岭螺、两两螺、罗范马、张波马、姐妹、雨听梦、Elizabeth Putri Narwastu. Bei Bei Ni. Yue Qi. Jin Yun Qiu. Ishina Ashok Sakrani. Juan Anthony Suhanto. Sun Meng. Ying Hua Tang. Hao Yue Tie. Vrinda Trehan. Chen Qi Wang. Ni Hua Wang. Xiao Xuan Wang. Yin Ze Wang. Wang Zitong. Emily Grace Wexler. Si Xue Xie. Xin Yuan. Yi Xue. Chun Fang Yang. Jie Yang. Yang Shuyue. Yi Qi Yang. 以阳、直岳阳、鸭旗、新如叶、冬梅章、何以章、明甲章、乙章、明诏、承中、爽中、新叶州、雪英州、家里猪、文解珠、紫荆珠、Master of International Development Practice, Solomon Kur Anyang. Sammy Mei Tong Chin. Holly Noonan. Patrick Owen Allen Russell. Osman Sobrier. Juliana Speck. Nguyen Phước Thai Tran. Master of Journalism, Samuel William Barson. Jie Ying Fung. Robert James Gunston. Kevin Ega Jinga. Chin Mai Naik. Emily Rose Newton. James William Roberts. Brinda Sani. Moira Melesete Tawilili. Master of Sustainability, Weilin Chen Yimei. Doctor of Philosophy, Music Performance, for research titled Timbre and Structure expressed through the performance of Livia Theodorescu Ciocanea, Piano Works, 1985 to 2013. Dr. Tamara Smolyar. Doctor of Philosophy, for research titled Calm Down, It's Just Facebook. Transparent, responsive and interactive Facebook audience engagement in Australian journalism. Dr. Erin Marie Bradshaw. For research titled Communicating Consent, Narratives of Sexual Consent in Victorian Rape Trials. Dr. Rachel Louise Bergen. For research titled International Parental Child Abduction and Japan's Response to the Internationalisation of the Family. Dr. Geraldine Marie Carney. For research titled Everyday Household Practices, the Flow of Portable Electronic Devices, Dr. Kay Follett. For research titled Mindfulness, Meditation and Resilience Building in Immigrant Communities, Dr. Rakshinda Akhtar Kabir. For research titled The Implications of the Detention of Australian Citizens at Guantanamo Bay after 9/11, Dr. Anastasia Gabriel Kailis. For research titled This Is Not Your Mother Speaking. Teenage Girls, Teen Girl Magazines and Social Change in Australia and the United States, circa 1966 to 1996. Dr. Kira Dusk Minton. For research titled Conceptualizations of Sadness in Persian, Dr. Mehri Muhammad Bagheri. For research titled Connecting Asia-Pacific Hip-Hop, the role of the cross-cultural intermediary, Dr. Jason Andrew Ng. For research titled Climate Change Behaviours, Improving the Use of Psychology and Communication Models in Mitigation Campaigns, Dr. Lucy Richardson. for research titled Ethnic Identity Among Young Australian Women with a Third-Generation Greek Heritage, Dr. Anna Vassadis. Faculty of Law. Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Laws. Amy Rose Baxter. Michelle Jean Bluser Fry. Sarah Christie. James David Fitzwalter Colliver. Alice Dimpner Molly Dowling. Nazia Farhat. Daniela Glavar. Deborah Harrington. Ari Herskovits. Alexandra Kersey. Catherine Ka Chan Lee. Shaylee Danny Mann. Elizabeth Naomi Melson. Rachel Louise Opie Thompson. John Kieran Petras. Louisa Vivian Reid. Katie Ross. Sofia Ceromenio Aragao Pina Cabral. Olivia Smedley. Georgia Electra Spiridonos. Olivia San. Vivian Laura Tabe. Amy Paivis. Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Laws, Honours, Nicole Eliza Clark. Anne Nimodi Fernando. Joshua Harris. Sophia Sama Jacquiri. Ninat Anil Kulkarni. Michael Lee. Ramona Rita Long. Gavin Lee. Gabrielle Marie McGuinness. Hannah May Osborne. Magnus Patrick Ross. Mukudze Bethel Ruzive Makura. Thomas Patrick Allen Spillane. Feaben Tefera. Tani Louise Weston. Georgia Louise Wilson. Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Laws with honours, Marley Ray Angus. Emily Faye Biggs. Ella Prudence Casey. Thea Mary Casey. Luca May Cherubin. Alison Lee Ting Chong. Emily Kate Clapp. Rachel Jane Collins. Eliza Rose Considine. Alicia Crossley. Eleanor D'Ambrosio Scott. Catherine Ellison Dawson. Lynette Dong. Stefana Doshlo. Emma Irwin. Madeline Elizabeth George. Sarla Beatrice Halleck. Joanna Liu Hewitt. Georgina Kate Hibbins. Stephen Andrew Hood. Tatum Jane Joseph. Tamsin Joy Kempster. Alexander Costas. Alexandra Elise Lawrence. Alyssa Lee. Bridget Rose Lorenz. Tiana Renee McLeod. Brendan Martin McGarry. Christine Michailidis. Sarah Elizabeth Mitchell. Jemina Nureddini. Amy Susan Pattle. Nicolas Alexander Riegler. Emilia Stefanovic. Claire Louisa Stollery. Ryan Justin Taylor. Eleanor Claire Tui. Kritika Venkatraman. Ruby Georgia Wade. Natasha Kate Whitehead. Bachelor of Biomedical Science and Bachelor of Laws. Ying Tong Li. Tim Hai Tian Xu. Bachelor of Biomedical Science and Bachelor of Laws with honours. Amanda Kiu Le. Georgiana Leung. Shu Xi Wang. Jessica Jiaxi Zhao. Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Laws. Denis Dostol-Berg. Mitchell Ryan Courtney. Anahita Filey. Ethan He. Daniel Yanova Rocha. Madeline John. Gordon Taiwo Lai. Natasha Jinja Law. Eileen Liu. Nathan Kwan Wei Lu. John Mai. Adam Pincus. Ifra Rehan. Jonathan Stephen. Magdalena Cristanti Chandrajaya. Kate Elizabeth Walker. Wenika Yu. Michelle Lin Xiaoyuan. Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Laws, Honours. Joshua Isaac. Vivian Jia Jia Chong. Jason Lee. Benjamin James Mackenzie Syrat. Michael Nguyen. Rachel Ritchie. Nicholas Su. Shanti Wong. Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Laws with Honours. Stephanie Barudi. Mei Chen Chan. Talon Crow. Connor William Nielsen Farrell. Benjamin James Harris. Mark James. Adem Abdullah Jalil Ahmed. Sarah Khan. Wai Shane Kong. Daniel Morgan Kiltika. Christopher James Tin Chi Lam. Beatrice Phang Tien Lim. Tara Rochelle Main. Nera Manjic. Jack Kingston Leyland McIntosh. William Constantine Sakis. Jason Siegel. Rojin Shadfar. Harrison Reginald Smith. Jennifer Tin Wai Sung. Matthew Andrew Webb. Bradley David White. Matthew Pockman Wong. Carmen Wu. Bachelor of Engineering with honours in the field of Chemical Engineering and Bachelor of Laws with honours, Camilla Ruth Scales. Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of Music, Genevieve Mei Yu Jin. Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of Performing Arts, Verity Olivia Norbury. Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of Science, Jeremy Cheong. Sam Hamza. Evangeline Yilei Li. Bachelor of Laws, Honours and Bachelor of Science, Josef Zvi Pinkus. Bachelor of Laws with Honours and Bachelor of Science, Trenton David Raymond Anderson. Huen Hang Stephanie Chui. Julia Cowell. Sydney Jack Marshall. Peter He. Tansy Amanda Mutimer. Bachelor of Laws, Holly Louise Brenchley. Phoebe Carl Griffin. Alex Ports. Marcus James Scott. Bachelor of Laws Honours, Yu Wen Ang. Chen Chung. Dominica Antonisha Bishmita de Alves. Jia Xinqie. Adnan Permentila Hussein. Andrew Zhiwei Ko. Yi Yun Li. Amanda Darshini Selvaraja. Flynn Titherley. Kelsey Caitlin van den Driesen. Courtney Heather White. Bachelor of Laws with Honours, Daniel Eddie Goodman. Jacqueline Marie Simpkin. Master of Government Law and Regulatory Practice, Pamela Edwards. Master of Human Rights Law, Camille Ann Woodward. Juris Doctor, Trisika Acharya. Michael Barker. This award is presented posthumously and will be accepted on behalf of Michael by his father, Dr. Nick Barker. Nikki Louise Bundock. Jackson Alexander Cool. Pradeep Gaur. Megan Christine Gillett. Todd Ari Herskop. Fiona Jane Hendrickson. Alistair Keith Brereton Huggett. Anastasia Palmer Hughes. Jamie Glissaris. Frank John Lawrence. Yang Liu. Alexandra Long. Claire Suzanne Manning. Christopher Margin. Darindu Shon Tirimadura Mendis. Lusheira Muhammad Harris Lu. Cindy Monley. Hugh Peter Morris. Philippe David Novak. Sinead O'Brien Butler. Valerie Hui Jin Ong. Charles Elms Pitney. Olivia Puchalski. Rachel Rothfield. Charlotte Drake Rowlandson. Dipana Somasundaram. Jessica White. Benita Elizabeth Williams. Chloe Christine Woodward. Miranda Ao Jia Jiang, Zhang. Master of Laws, Paul Jonathan David Ware. Master of Laws in Commercial Law, Nadia Kish. Master of Laws, Juris Doctor, Christopher John Batt. Catherine Elizabeth Boyles. Grace Maggie Cunningham. Lindsay Jane DePella. Chantel Fonanda. Jessica Yingshi Lim. John Mardikis. Laura Elena Rositano. Rebecca Self. Master of Laws, Workplace and Employment Law, Sophie Ann Williams. Master of Laws in Workplace and Employment Law, Suzanne Margaret Squire. Master of Workplace and Employment Law, Jackson Hayden Taylor. Doctor of Philosophy, for research titled Liquidated Damages and Penalties, a comparison of the common law and certain international approaches, Dr. Richard James Manley. For research titled The Scope of Most Favoured Nation Clauses in International Investment Agreements, Dr. Tanjina Sharmin. For research titled Communicating the Law, an Optimality Theoretic Account of Inference for Legal Interpretation, Dr. David Dawei Tan. For research titled The Role of Law in Subjectivation, a Foucauldian analysis of the contemporary scene of torture in Iraq, 2003 to 2006, Dr. Tegan Jane Westendorf. Deputy Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Arts and the Faculty of Law.
Well, we now have the opportunity to hear from one of our very talented musicians from the Monash University Sir Zelman Cowen School of Music. Would you please welcome Mr. Tobias Bottrell, who will be performing the St. James Infirmary Blues. Thank you, Tobias, for that performance which underlines the level of skill in the Monash Sir Zelman Cowen Music Department. The graduation address today gives us the opportunity to hear from a distinguished member of our alumni community, and today that address will be delivered by Ms. Deborah Glass. Deborah was born over the border in Bega, New South Wales, but raised in Melbourne, schooled at Mount Scopus and graduated in Monash Bachelor of Arts in 1980 and LLB in 1982. Initially, she practiced law in Melbourne before heading abroad, where she spent the better part of 30 years, devoted to an array of corporate and public sector roles. They were diverse, numerous and challenging, and I'm sure in her address she will touch on some of those achievements and the challenges there met. Prior to the conclusion of her tenure overseas, she was awarded the Order of the British Empire for services in that country and to community. Thereafter, she returned to Australia. In 2014, Deborah Glass was appointed the 5th Victorian Ombudsman, and she brought to that role a commitment to fair and reasonable decision-making, public service and sector integrity, and fundamentally the advancement and protection of human rights. You will no doubt have heard over the years in recent news reports and publications some of her determinations. In 2016, she was awarded the Monash University Distinguished Alumni Award given by the Faculty of Law. And with that very brief background, I have great pleasure in welcoming and looking forward to the address that the Ombudsman, Deborah Glass, will give to this graduation.
Congratulations! Watching you just now, I couldn't help reflecting that only a few decades ago, I was where you are now, in this very hall. I didn't then recognise that it was on land that had never been ceded by the people of the Kulin Nations. But let me now acknowledge that this always was and always will be Aboriginal land. Now, back then, like many of you, my parents were somewhere in the back rows, and I was feeling excited, proud, and a bit nervous about what I was going to do next. And look at me now, with the least impressive gown on this stage. I have a Bachelor of Laws from this university, and I haven't, as many of you have just received, and I haven't added any gold braid or fancy hats since then. But here I am, the 5th Victorian Ombudsman. Rather to my surprise, a member of the FW2 Club, first woman to be in the role. So let me reflect on the journey from law student, more interested in the freedom of university life than the interior of the law library, to Victorian Ombudsman. And let me share a few stories from my journey, which I hope will plant some seeds for yours. Of course, my journey didn't begin at Monash, but my 5 years here had an impact. And I don't mean the mud you had to trek through to get to the car park, which, by the way, used to be free, or the psychotropic haze emerging from the small cafe, or being blasted by third-rate rock bands in the smoky, beery rooms of the Knot. I do occasionally marvel that I got a degree at all. I was so busy having a good time. I chose Monash because it was not an establishment university. It was something of an upstart with a strong social justice ethos, and a law school that had poached the best and brightest from Melbourne University. And I must pay tribute to one of its founders, Professor Louis Waller, who died sadly 2 weeks ago. He's not only regarded by at least half the judiciary as the best teacher ever and a towering figure in law reform, he was also one of the kindest and most modest heroes you could meet. After I became Ombudsman, he introduced me at several speaking events and was courteous enough not to mention how close I came to failing one of his classes. But I did get my degree, and I got a job as an article clerk. Now, I know many people who went on to build happy legal careers, but I knew by the end of my first day that I didn't want to be a lawyer. I don't recall if it was the experience of the commute, standing on a freezing platform in my navy gabardine suit with a skirt below the knee because you couldn't wear trousers in those days, or figuring out how to use a dictaphone, or being paid less than the tea lady, but I felt there had to be more to life than than working in a law firm. I also felt as a young lawyer back in the 80s, you had to be better than a man to get to the same place. I know there are women lawyers of my generation who did very well staying put, but maybe I had to leave the country to get where I did, and where I never planned to go. If anyone had told me that I would come back 30 years later as the Ombudsman, I probably would have wondered what they were smoking. So I stayed in the law long enough to buy a one-way ticket to Europe, and off I went, with dreams of becoming a great travel writer. I realised pretty quickly that wasn't even going to pay for repairs to my rucksack. So when my savings ran out in Switzerland, I saw an ad in the local paper for trainees with an international investment bank. I brandished my Monash law degree, and rather to my surprise, I got the job. Sometimes you go for things because they are unknown, or because the other options, like waitressing or going back to Australia, seem so much worse. The corporate world was pretty exciting at first. Business class travel and fancy hotels and intense late nights preparing presentations for senior management. But even though I learned a lot, I realised I just didn't care enough about making money. Thus began my long career in the public sector. First in Hong Kong, where I joined the Securities and Futures Commission. I loved using the knowledge I'd gained in the corporate world to promote the public interest. Sometimes you go for things because you just know they will be right for you. After nearly 10 years, I moved to London, and then got to one of those mid-career points when I had no fixed notions about what to do next. I wanted to stay in the public sector, and I got involved in independent investigation into police. Sometimes you go for things because of what they are not. Not corporate, not financial services. But I learnt rapidly. It was tough, dealing with grieving, sometimes angry families following a death in police custody, hostile police officers, a media and political environment more focused on headlines than facts. I thought I'd share a couple of war stories from those days. I found women need to prove themselves more than men, and soon after I started in that role, I was asked to become the policy lead for the police use of firearms, about which I knew nothing. I asked an expert for some advice, and he said the best training I could do was the Gold Command course, a residential course for senior police officers. So I turned up on the first day to a room in which I was the only woman and the only civilian. The rest of the class of very senior police officers assumed I was there as an observer. And I thought, I am not going to be patronised. So I made it clear that I expected to be tested like everyone else. It was one of the toughest things I have ever done, but I got through it. Sometimes you have to be prepared to fail. I'm proud of many things from those days, but most of all about my involvement with the Hillsborough investigation, so let me share a brief vignette from that. About a year before the end of my term, an explosive new report was published into the Hillsborough disaster, in which 96 people, all Liverpool fans, had died in a massive crush at a football stadium in the north of England 23 years before. Now, all the usual inquiries had followed such a disaster, but the official verdict was accidental death, and the myth abounded for decades that the fans themselves were responsible for the tragedy. So when a new report exposing the injustice was published in 2012, I remembered thinking, we need to do this. The official response to a political storm of something must be done is usually to convene a meeting. So most of the senior police and police officials in the land, as it happened that day, all men except me and my colleague, were gathered around a huge table in Westminster. The chief constables were discussing which of them was going to investigate Hillsborough. I remember waiting for a pause and then saying, actually, we're going to investigate this. The independent body will do this investigation. I still remember the silence and the body language of what remained unsaid. In their case, who do you think you are, girlie, taking on something as big as this? And in my case, get your tanks off my lawn. This is my jurisdiction. We're going to do it. And we did. It was a job that will never win a popularity contest. But it is better to be right than popular, and justice is its own reward. Sometimes when the brickbats are flying thick and fast, you wonder if it's all worth it. But you stay with it, because it is. I came to the end of my term, and as T.S. Eliot said, "We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time." And so I came back to Melbourne, knowing the place and myself so much better than I did. This time I applied for a job because I knew it was right, my ideal job, to deal with complaints about public services in Victoria, not including the police. So the journey continues in the current role, I trust, until 2024. As I said to my staff on the first day, you don't start a 10-year term with a plan. You start with a set of values and beliefs in integrity, fairness, social justice, human rights. I believe in working with people wherever possible to achieve change. I have the powers of a royal commission, but I believe the most impactful powers are the ones you don't need to use because everyone knows you have them. It is a rare and wonderful privilege to be a constitutionally independent officer of Parliament, making decisions in the interests of justice. Sometimes you go on a journey with no destination in mind, but looking back down the road, it all makes sense. So what pearls can I pull out of this bag of oysters? I hope you've gleaned a few. Don't try to plan everything. Sometimes the best things happen when you're not looking for them. Life is full of opportunities and pitfalls you cannot even imagine when you begin the journey. Be willing to take risks. Learn the art of navigation. You need to recalibrate when things don't go as planned, because things will not go as planned. Do the right thing. Your integrity matters more than just about anything. Believe in yourself. Women especially, don't listen to the little voice in your ear that says you're not good enough. Finally, you may be surprised at what you can learn from your parents. Let me acknowledge my own good fortune. My mother was an early pioneer for women's equality, the child of refugees, passionate about education and determined to improve her own. My father was not only a distinguished physician, but a much better typist than my mother, and very happy to type her master's thesis. So it never occurred to me there was something I could not do. Sadly, my mother is long gone, but my father is here today. Thank you, Dad, for your love and support, for your typing skills, and for not being bound by gender stereotypes. Graduates, don't leave it. Don't leave it too long to thank your parents and teachers. I know every one of you has worked hard to be here today. To each of you I say, this is the beginning. You've got that piece of paper. Use it as a springboard. In large or small ways, in whatever your field of endeavour and the relationships you form with others, each of you has the capacity to make the world a better place. You owe it to yourselves to be the best you can be. It's time to go out into the world and make a difference. Good luck and thank you.
Thank you, Deborah, and no doubt on behalf of all graduates, thank you for those words and that fascinating story that you've lived in Australia and overseas. And it really does highlight the benefit of a Monash degree in whatever faculty and the doors that it can open as you go out and look for challenges, perhaps take the hard choice sometimes, the interesting life, the overseas life, the experiences that Deborah has led, and ultimately to come home to what is a critically important job, keeping honest many of our senior politicians, bureaucrats and others. A very important role, but a fascinating life and a life that bounded out of an arts and a law degree and taking up the challenge. So on behalf of all of the graduates and all faculties, thank you. Now, graduates, as you leave this ceremony, remember that you are not leaving Monash. No matter how far you move from Monash and from this time. All of you are an alumni of this university. You are joined to Monash by a link that cannot be broken, and we very much hope you will strongly maintain. You are now part of an enterprising and inclusive Monash global community, now more than 375,000 alumni strong, living in countries all around the world. No matter where you are, we invite you to connect with a fellow Monash alumni and stay in touch through our group. The alumni pages in your graduation program are a guide to what Monash wants to share and continue to connect with you. In congratulating each of you upon your achievements, I do particularly want to acknowledge the contribution that your lecturers, supervisors, tutors and the professional staff of Monash University have made in ensuring your presence in your graduation here today. It is not always possible to give public recognition to their hard work, their skill, their dedication. But could I ask all graduates now to take this opportunity to show your appreciation of those who taught and worked alongside you by a round of applause. I know, and all at Monash and all on Monash Council well understand that university life and study is not easy. During your many years of research, of learning to cope with stresses, examinations, assignments, and also in most cases combining study with outside work and or family obligations. Throughout this time you were encouraged and supported by parents, husbands, wives or partners, brothers, sisters, guardians, or your many friends. And that's a theme that Deborah spoke of then in her graduation address, the importance of the support you've had and how they've always got your back and want you to succeed. A tradition that's developed here at Monash to acknowledge the contribution of those in your lives and those many people here today. We invite graduates, if they would, to stand, to turn and face your family, your friends, and by a round of applause, express your gratitude to them for the way they've assisted and have you here today. So this is their moment. Thank you, thank you. So in conclusion, I cordially invite everyone to continue a celebration by coming to the Northern Plaza for refreshments. Graduates, I invite you to join the procession as the official party leaves the hall. And I ask members of the audience if they would remain standing until the graduates have left the hall and the music has concluded. You will then be given further information about the post-ceremony refreshments and celebrations. So with those few words, again, congratulations of Monash to all graduates. Well done, well studied. May you enjoy your careers. Congratulations.